everyone, it's Bee here at Stitches and Blooms. I hope you're all okay. Today I've come on to show you what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. There's a few finished things and there's a couple of whips as well, but I probably won't show you those because I think they were just the same as what they were last time. So like I say, my name is Bee and welcome to this little podcast. I'm here on, this is my little corner of YouTube where I talk about mostly about crochet, a little bit about maybe gardening when the weather's a bit better. I have an allotment, I got that last year, so yeah, so hopefully there might be some of that soon as well. I'm just getting my drink because it's cold day today. We were forecast a bit of sleet and snow, but quite luckily this morning it's mostly rain, so it's not too bad, but it's not a nice day out there at all. It's very windy and cold, and I'm glad I'm in here with my chock-a-mocha talking to you. Yeah, so this week there's a couple of finished things and there's a work in progress. So yeah, should we get on with that? Should we start and see what we've been doing? So I've done a couple of cowls because the weather's changed as well. I thought, and I've been trying to use up my stash this year and had some Aran stash in, and I saw a lovely cowl, bubble cowl it was. It's called the giant bubble cowl by Emma Escott of Lulu Loves Crochet it is, and I saw it and I thought, oh my word, she has I know her from a YouTube really. She does Lulu Loves Crochet, like I say, and she has her own YouTube channel. She's not really podcast for a while, but she's really good if you know her, and I think she's really good. So she's not been on for a while, so I thought, we'll see, Anyway, there was this giant cowl with big bubbles. Look at that. Look at them. They are big bubbles, aren't they? They really are big bubbles. So I'll do that. Yeah, look at that. And yeah, it just fits nicely really. I mean, I've done 3 rows there, but she did about, I'm sure it was about 5 or 6 rows, and it was a really big, deep, it was like up here on the picture. So yeah, and like I say, it's just Aran held double. She used a chunky one, but I used Aran held double. And just look at those bubbles. I mean, they're massive. Look, it's gorgeous. I love it, and it looks so nice under kind of a nice. Should I put it on? I'll try and put it on without kind of. So as you can see, under a jacket, it's really nice, and it's quite cosy, and I love it. It's really so nice. It really is. So yeah, so that's that one. So that's my first cowl. Yeah, I just love it, and it's so squishy. It's really, really nice. So yeah, go and have a look over if you like that. Go and have a look at Emma Escott, Lulu Loves Crochet, on her blog post, and it's a free pattern. It's a free pattern as well, so that's even better. Yeah, and I just love it. I just think it's so nice. The next thing I did was another cowl, and this has got a little bit of a story behind it. A couple of weeks ago we went to, I don't know if you remember from my last podcast, if you saw my last podcast, you probably didn't because there's not many people watch my podcasts. We went to Switzerland for my birthday, the end of January. It was absolutely fantastic. We loved it. It was very expensive. We went to Geneva, and it was very, very expensive. The food and just the cost of living there is expensive. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm thinking again, sniffing up again. So we did Geneva, and if I can, I have got some little videos on my phone, so if I can upload some of those to show you what it was like, I will do. So we went to Geneva. We stayed in Geneva. We went to Annecy, which is over because Geneva is southwest of in Switzerland. It's right down at the bottom in the southwest, which is on the border of France. And I never knew, I'm not too good at geography to be honest, I never knew that Switzerland was bordered by Germany at the top, Italy on the southeast side, and France on this side. And I think it's also got Liechtenstein and Austria over that bit as well. So it's got a lot of borders. So the bit we were in was in the French bit, in Geneva. Yeah, so we were able to go over the French border to a place called Annecy, which was lovely. It was like a medieval kind of, well, they called it, they do call it, well, the Venice of the Venice of Switzerland, I think, something like that, because it's got this river going through the town. So it does look a little bit Venetian, because it's got this river and it's got bridges. But it's like this little medieval, lots of like windy streets and things. It was lovely, really, really nice. Yeah, so we went there, and there's a big lake, so we had a really lovely walk around this lake. So the weather, we touched really well with the weather, because it was just lovely. Yeah, so we went there, and we also went to a place called Carouge. And the good thing about the Switzerland transport system was that it was free. The trams and buses, you can go, especially, well, in Geneva anyway, you can use the buses and the trams. You get free, we got a free pass from I think you can get one from the tram or the bus station, but we got ours from our hotel provided it. And you could get on the bus and you could go within this zone 10, and Carouge was in this zone 10, so we didn't need to pay to get there. And they called that the Little Italy of the Switzerland, and it was like a little market square, and they had like lovely little independent shops and windy streets again. Like I say, if I can put some of the videos that I did, I'll try and put them in for you so that you can see. Yeah, so let's backtrack. And oh my word, it's so windy out there. Oh, the big gust of wind just came there, nearly blew the cover off the seats. Anyway, digressing, sorry. So yeah, so while we were there, I thought, I'll look to see if there's any yarn shops, like you do. It was my birthday as well, but yeah, so we found, it was like the parallel street to where we were stopping, and it was a big long street, so it was quite a big walk up, and it was called Eau d'Argent, which I think means something of silver, air of silver. I'm not sure. I know Argent, I'm sure that is silver. Like I say, they were French speaking, it's French speaking in Geneva, so we went to this wool shop, we found it, this yarn shop, and it was just like a little Aladdin's cave, and there was so much there, and really I wanted some Swiss wool, and the lady in the shop, she was lovely. I think she's had it quite 20 years maybe. When I came back, I did look online, and she was lovely. She was so helpful, she was so just lovely. And she said, what do you want? I said, well, do you do Swiss wool? And she said, yeah. And then she showed me this. She said, oh, this is wool that, she spoke quite good English. She said, this is wool that I have at my like, she must have had a house up in the hills or a chalet. She said, and the sheep, it's a local sheep farmer. Excuse me, just having a sip. It's the local sheep farmer, and it was their wool. And she showed me, and they were gorgeous. I didn't ask. I'm sure they were about 30 Swiss francs, which is what the currency is over there, for one ball, and they were about 50 gram balls. And I thought, well, what am I going to do with it? And it was wool, so it was quite scratchy. And I just thought, I can't really afford it, basically. What am I going to do with one ball of wool? So yeah, and it was, I mean, they were lovely colours, and in the end I did think, I'm sure it's about 30. I don't know if she actually told me the price, but from what I could gather, it wasn't cheap like the rest of Geneva. So yeah, so in the end she said, what do you do? So I said, mainly crochet. I can knit a little bit, but I do mainly crochet. So she said, oh, I've got these in, and you can get them online over here, and it was Katia, which I know isn't Swiss, but I just wanted something as a memory for our holiday to Switzerland. I just wanted something. So I just thought, oh, I'll get, oh. So I was looking around there, and ahhing. This poor woman thought, well, you just make your mind up about what you want. I was there, and I'm sure my husband was saying the same. He was like, well, what do you think? And I'm going, well, what do you think? And he's like, well, I'm not going to do anything, it's you. So anyway, cut a long story short, I got this Katia, which I know isn't, I'm sorry, I can't, the light's not very good. I think it's Turkish, Katia, as most independent, as most wool is, isn't it? It's normally made in Italy. Made in Italy. Yeah, and it's called Instagranny from Katia, and it's 100% merino wool. Well, I've never really had merino wool. And each of these balls, it was a 50-gram ball, and each ball made 3 granny squares, but it was self-patterning, so you didn't have to tie in all your ends. And I had seen it before, and I looked online, and Crystal at Bago Day, she'd done a thingy on it, and I know that, is it Lion Brand? Red Heart, I think I've got a similar thing out at the minute, and I've not heard very good reviews about that one. I think it's quite difficult to try and match things up. You've really got to get your tension right. But on this one, it did it quite well. So I'll stop fanning about basically and show you. Yeah. So these were the granny squares. Oh, that's not very good, is it? That doesn't look very good where we joined it, but it's only for me. Yeah. So these. Let me show you this one. So these granny squares. This is what it made. So it was self-striping, it made the granny square itself. So the way the wool was, the strands of wool were in these colours. So you had the green, the beige, this lovely mustardy yellow, beige and green. And I think it was a 6mm hook or a 5.5mm hook. What did it say to use? Oh, my eyes are really bad. 5.5, and it says, I think it's like an Aran weight really, it's like a worsted weight, but it's so soft, it's lovely, it's so lovely. Oh, honestly, it's so, I love it. And so it only made 3, so I thought, well, how am I gonna, I wanted to just make something that was quick, easy. So I made this cowl as well. I just did the squares and then did some in the same wool that I'd done the other one in. I had some of that left, so I did plain ones as well. Just joined them together and then just did 2 rows of half double crochets at the top. Yeah, so I'll show you what this one looks like on. So it's a bit more kind of, it's a bit bigger. I don't think I could have done it with 3, could I really? So I did do 6, and that was far too big. But yeah, again, it's kind of, it's a nice, kind of thing, isn't it? So yeah, it's lovely and warm. It really does keep you warm. It really does. So yeah, so that's 2 cowls done. Yeah, so I'm nice and cosy and warm on these cold wintry days when I go out, and even if I sit in the house, sometimes you can put them on, can't you? So yeah, my hair's all, oh, excuse me. Yeah, so that was our trip so they were the things. And then another finished thing, this is my little rose. This is my February, there's the rose on top. This is my February yarn baby, flower baby, that I said that I would do 1 each month. I said I'd do 1 each month. So I thought, well, I'll do a rose because it's February, it's Valentine, let's do the rose. And I just thought I'll do 1 each month, and then put it on my Instagram as my beginning page for February's, and just the beginning of the month. Sorry, my hair's a bit thingy now, took that cowl off. Yeah, so I just thought I'd do, so this is the rose, and look, I mean, it literally takes half a day, really. I'm getting used to them now, doing this amigurumi, because I'm not an amigurumi kind of, this is about the 3rd thing I've done in amigurumi, so yeah, I'm getting better. Yeah, and this time I just did I just drew the eyes on because it's only for me. It's not, I'm not giving it to anybody. But yeah, the hat comes off. Ooh. So her hat comes off. But yeah, she's, you know, and she's got, I didn't do this one with any arms. The snowdrop that I did last time had arms, but I just put 2 petals on her. Yeah, and I love the hat. That's really good, isn't it? That lovely rose. I love her. So good. So yeah, so that's another finished object. Yeah, so there's 3. This in, and it's only the 8th of February, so I'm not doing too bad. 3 little, you know, things to look at. I haven't done anything more on my blanket. It's still there in the bag. I think I've got about 12 squares to still, you know, think into. I was going to try and get it done to the end of, like I said, I wanted to try and get it done for the end of January, but we're going away. And then when I came back and I had that Insta Granny thing, I just thought I want to get that done. And I haven't picked it up since the end of January, really, before we went away. So, you know, it'll get done, won't it? It'll get done. And I'm hoping to get it done by the end of February. So I will. So my plan is, I'm hoping, excuse me, got itchy arm. My plan is that I will do kind of work on something for a day, because I do get easily bored. I know I do. And then I look at something, I think, oh, I want to do that, I want to start that, but then I know I've not finished that. So I'm like kind of trying to rein this in a bit, is my way of saying. So I think if I work on something for kind of a couple of hours a day, and then work on something else for that couple of hours a day, surely by the end of February I should have at least something. There should be a couple of things finished, shouldn't there? So yeah, so that's my plan. So I haven't touched my blanket. Like I say, it's over there in a bag, and I will pick it up. I have been working on this. I talked about this in October, I think. It's the Lost in Time. It's free pattern again. Lost in Time. It's by Mijo Crochet. Mijo. I'm not sure. It's Mijo Crochet, and it's a shawl. And there's all different stitches in it and things. I don't know if you can, on this one here, can you see how there is lots of different stitches to use? So there's like bobble stitches, there's front post, back post, shell stitches, I think these are called, aren't they? These ones. So yeah, so there's a lot of different stitches, so it's kind of helping me to get better at my crochet and use different stitches. And so I've not done a lot. I'm not trying not to take any of the stitches out. I'm trying not to get any of the stitches out. I've not tied any ends in. Like I said, I was going to do this in October, but then I didn't, and I thought I still want to try it. So look at those. I'm trying not to get anything. There we go. So that's what I've done so far. You see, it's beautiful, isn't it? I love it. I really do. I do love it. And as you can see, all these ends need to get tied in and put them all to the back. Again, I haven't done any of my ends, so, but that's just part of the course with me. I leave them all to the end, so that looks a bit better, doesn't it? So yeah, so, and I'm very proud of myself for this. I haven't bought any yarn. I am using Stash again. So yeah, and it's a cotton. It's a 4-ply weight. I don't know why I've got an itchy arm. It's a 4-ply weight, and I'm using a 6mm needle with it. And these are the colours that I am using. So this is walnut yarn, cotton, walnut tree yarn from the Knitting Network. So there's this one which is Yarn Art Jeans Bamboo, which is what I did to do my doll with. So there's them. There's that one, which is it's coming out quite, it might not do on the thing, but that's coming out more of a russet than that. It might come out alright on the thing. What else am I using? this one, which is like a brown. So they're very autumnal colours, I know. I am going to use these as well, which I don't know, you may not think they would go, and these are the saffron drops. That's the saffron drops here. And then that one, which is the yarn arts again, and then this one, which is a saffron drops. So I am using up my stash, and I've not bought any. I was looking on Friday night, I looked at this again and I thought, I really want to do that. And I was looking, because she did it in Drops Katona, I think. Drops Katona. Not Drops Katona. Sheepia's Katona. I think she did it in. It doesn't say on that one. I've only got I'm doing it offline anyway, the pattern. I've not used this. Yeah, so, and I think it's about an 8-row repeat once you get into it. And it's a free pattern, it's online. Yeah, so that's something that I've started, and I've done a couple of days on that, so I am going to try and not do, I've got something else that I want to cast on. But yeah, we'll see. But so I've done that for a couple of days now, and I'm beginning to get a little bit bored with it. So I think I'm going to be doing something else, but we'll see. Yeah, so that's my work in progress. What else? Not really done much. Not really done much else really. It's probably been a couple of weeks since our last podcast, so you know, it's there, isn't it? There's a couple of things there to show you. Yeah, I'm doing that one, and then I've seen I've got quite a bit of Aran yarn that I first got when I first started crocheting, and it was reduced. It's 100% acrylic, nothing fancy, you know, it's nothing. And I've got quite a few balls, excuse me, and I just wanted to use it. My idea was to backtrack, Bernadette. I wanted to use it when I first started crocheting. I did a chunky, I think I showed you maybe on my first podcast, I did a chunky zigzag striped blanket, and it was so heavy. And I was going to do one in blues, which is what a lot of this yarn is. It's blues, and it was quite, I think it was about £1.25 a ball or something like that, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't expensive. And I've got quite a bit of it there, so I thought, what can I do with this? So today when I was looking online, there is, I think it's called Cactus and Lace, and she's done like a scrappy bit of a cardigan, and it just looks so, and she's used worsted weight, which is more or less the same as Aran, isn't it, I think. Yeah, so I might start that. And it's on 6.5 needles, so it's going to be quite, I think it's going to grow quite easily, isn't it, you know. So yeah, so watch this space. In the next podcast I might have that one done. If you're wondering if I've done this, what I'm wearing, no I haven't. It's an Asda, but it's lovely. It's really like, it's like a tank top, but yeah, it's just really nice. And I've got like just a black long sleeve t-shirt underneath it. Right, let's go on to books that I've been reading. So while I was away, because in January I didn't read many books, and I thought I really need to start reading my books. I've got so many there, you know, in the cupboard to read. I have them in the cupboard at the front, you know, like what we have the television on, a television stand, but it's like this cupboard. So I've got my books in there, and I keep looking, thinking I really need to read some of these books. So first one I read, this is what I read on holiday. I read it on the plane. Let's take that out, that's my boarding pass. I read this on the plane, and while we were there, you know, at night if there's nothing on. It's called Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. I've read a couple of Lisa Jewell books. I like Lisa Jewell, she's good. So So Invisible Girl, and the blurb says, "You don't see her, but she sees you. Midnight in an area of urban wasteland where cats hunt and foxes shriek, a girl is watching. When Sapphire Maddox was 10, something terrible happened, and she's carried the pain of it ever since. The man she thought was going to heal her didn't, and now she hides, learning his secrets and invisible in the shadows. Owen Pick is invisible too. He's never had a girlfriend, he's never even had a friend. Nobody sees him, nobody cares. But when Sapphire goes missing from opposite his house on Valentine's night, suddenly the world seems to be watching Owen, accusing him, holding him responsible for Sapphire's disappearance." So if you've not read Lisa Jill before, she's really good, and she's got there's lots of, she keeps you on tenterhooks, but you want to read on, and it was good. It's not one of the better ones that I've read, but I did enjoy it. It was good. I'd maybe give it 4 out of 5 or 3.5, 4 out of 5. Yeah, Invisible Girl. The ending was a bit, not disappointing, but I don't know. You see what you think, but I'd read it, but it wasn't, like I said, I don't think it's one of the better ones. And then my sister, got this for my birthday at the end of January. And she said she just got it because of the title, The Sisters. So yeah, and I haven't really read any of Claire Douglas before. So yeah, and then I'll read the blurb on this. When one sister dies, the other must go to desperate lengths to survive. Haunted by her twin sister's death, Abby is making a fresh start in Bath. But when she meets siblings Ben and Bea, quickly moving into the townhouse they share with a group of lodgers, strange things start to happen. Abby's precious letters go missing, threatening messages are left in her room. Is this the work of the beautiful and capricious Bea, or is Abby hiding something of her own? It's a dark secret. Is it a dark secret? One she thought had died with her sister. So that's The Sisters. And yeah, it was okay. I'd probably give that 3 out of 5. I'm not really a descriptive, there's lots of description in it, if she went somewhere or she met somebody, or, there was lots of description about things, and I'm thinking, oh, just get on with the story, I don't like, I'm not into, so I did skim read a lot, I must admit, and it was okay. It to me, it was a bit cliched, they all lived in this nice house, and in Bath and things, so it's a bit kind of, I don't know, but yeah, like I say, 3 out of 5. Yeah, it wasn't as good as some of the others, so yeah. So there are 2 of the books that I've been reading. We've not really read any, we've not really watched any television much, there's not really been much on. Yeah, so that's been it really. So I'm just gonna, the thing was going to come to an end, so I thought I might as well turn it off, and like I said, I don't want to start gabbling along, so yeah, so that's been it really. 2 cowls, Little Flower Baby, started my Lost in Time, which I was going to do in October, so I started that. I am enjoying that, Lost in Time. Some of the yarn's a bit, because it's like 4-ply yarn, it is a bit, and it's cotton, most of it, so it is a little bit fiddly to use, and I'm not too au fait on front post and back post. I've not done a lot of them, so I'm finding them a little bit fiddly to do and tricky to do, but everything else is fine on it, and it's just kind of getting used to it, isn't it? And I'm sure once I've done more of it, the front and back post it's going to be fine. Yeah, so I'm enjoying that. So, but I'm loving the effect of it. I'm loving the colours, and I'm loving how it looks. And it is quite a nice squishy. It doesn't feel, I think, because it's on a bigger needle. It's on a 6mm, I think, or 5.5. For that yarn. It doesn't feel tight. It's quite a drapey fabric, and it's soft. So yeah, so I'm enjoying that. So we'll see how that comes next time. Yeah, so that's it really. There's nothing else. So it's really quite There's a bit more snow coming down now. Well, sleety, rainy snow. So I don't think it'll stick. I don't think it'll come to anything, thank goodness. But yeah. So yes, thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I shall see you again on my next podcast, which I'm hoping is next week, but we'll see. Maybe 2 weeks, who knows, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, it was lovely to join you today. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that, I've given you some ideas about maybe patterns to look at. And I shall see you next time. Bye.